July the 1st, 1948, we started our new church. It was just the most wonderful thing. We all worked together. We all lived together. We were just like a family. And when we had to get something done, we all pitched in. We had a member, I think he was our oldest member, Ed Rivers. And Ed was a great man to help out and pitch in and do. He came out to help them with the sale and went in the back door and put his hat on the top of a shelf. And when they got ready to go, he couldn't find his hat. Somebody sold his hat. Poor Ed had to go home bareheaded.
It's exciting to see the things that are happening here at St. Paul and the plans that we have. And the most exciting thing that has happened is a few years ago we decided to recommit ourselves as a church to Jesus Christ. And we came up with what we call a mission statement, and it's a very simple one. And it's basically to introduce people to Jesus Christ and then to nurture them from that point on. And particularly with the changing times that we have now in our society, where the things that we used to hold true and dear as right and wrong are now beginning to blend together, and things that we called wrong a few years ago we're trying to say are right now, and things that we called right we might even say are wrong. And so it's a confusing signal that's being sent to our society, and particularly our kids. And we feel here at St. Paul that we're going to hold strong and true to those biblical truths.
When humble hearts give the fruit of pure life, so that others may live, how beautiful, how beautiful, how beautiful is the body of Christ.
Christian was 2.5 years old, and in May of 1995, we were here in the neighborhood and went to visit a friend's house, and she also went to St. Paul, and it was her birthday. And the 3 kids and I went over, walked over to her house, and Don was here at the house doing some yard work. And we were visiting with her for a few minutes, and Christian wanted to swing on the swing set. And what happened is the swing set collapsed, and the top beam, well, actually the A-frame of the swing set landed on Christian's head, and it was very traumatic. Without God in our lives, we wouldn't have been able to get through it. The church family just rallied around us. When we were at the hospital, we went to the emergency room, and when we came out, they put us in a little room while they were working on Christian. And when we came out of the room, there were many, many people. The whole waiting room was just full of people from St. Paul who had heard about it. They started prayer chains, and we had people praying for us, with us, and we couldn't have made it without, number one, like I said, God in our lives, and He comforted us through that, and it was just awesome, the things that happened since his death and through that time, and how the people at the church just, came up around us and took us in and just, took care of us.
Yeah, when we got back from the hospital, even though the hospital was loaded with people, we got back and we pulled into the driveway, there was 20 or 30 additional people here taking care of things. The neighbors had helped them, get set up and let them in the house to get things going, and we weren't alone for 2 weeks. There was always someone here taking care of us. That's really, to me, when I really turned my life over, because I saw the goodness in God.
God has just shown Himself over and over again, just through different things that have happened and different people that have come up to me and said things, all along the way that he's there and he's never left us.
After a few weeks of doing tests, she was in the hospital, a week in Florence, where they ran a battery of tests, and still couldn't find anything, and her illness was getting progressively worse, so we were sent to MUSC, and they went through a full week of checking her out from everything, and as time progressed, she just was slowly getting worse, and nobody had an answer. It was very traumatic for the whole family because they didn't understand what was going on. They were very fearful. You know, their sister may die as we walked through this, you know, when you're stripped of everything completely. Then you began to realize you have no control in this world, none, and that the power that you need to be drawing from is God. You know, you just wouldn't believe, you know, how the people are just, they were fasting and praying. Things were happening at St. Paul Church that had never gone on before. The Sunday school classes, you know, they had a 24-hour prayer vigil. The prayers were absolutely so powerful. As I was in Charleston, I mean, the strength that I had was just so God-breathed. And the prayers were just layer by layer. She started coming back.
Medically, she was not healed. She was healed through faith and prayer. This was an attack on our child and our family. It was Satan trying to take something away that wasn't his. And through all this power and prayer, he didn't win.
This is our second family. Other than our immediate family, this is it for the Huggins. We love this church, and we want to see it grow, and we want to see it prosper.
We've also been given lots of opportunities to serve in different capacities, and every new experience has helped us to grow as Christians and as friends.
The difference, I think, in St. Paul that we see is there is a place for everyone in every level of belief. But St. Paul is just a wonderful place to, as the young people say, to do your own thing.
And she said, "Where are we going?" I said, "Oh, I want to ride by the church. I haven't really spent time at the church. You know, we just went for Christmas. I'd like to walk around." And she's like,
That's
okay.
nice.
So
What's
we
there
pulled
to
up
see?
and pulled up right in front of the church, and we got out, and it was actually pretty cold that night. But we got out, and I stood on the porch steps of the church, and I said, "Well, Emily, I talked to your father tonight," and we had a long talk, and you know, I've come to a decision in my life, and so I reached in my coat pocket and pulled out the ring box, and you know, got down on my knee and grabbed her.
The wrong hand.
I grabbed the wrong
this
hand. It's the first time I've done it, really. You know.
Yeah, he's like, how am I? I'm like, wrong hand, this hand. And he's like, I don't know, I've never done this before.
And so I slipped the ring on her finger, and I said, "Emily, would you marry me?" We did climb in the tree for about an hour and a half.
we
and
just
talked.
Just
You know,
talk.
just,
Because I just love this tree.
so that's why we decided to have our church reception right out here under the tree. I really don't think I could have ever fit in a place better than St. Paul, because we were a diverse group. You know, we were all a little bit different, but yet we all got together and we used to have the best times. I mean, we'd go out everywhere, do everything. We'd go see movies. We would go have parties. We would
just go to somebody's
scavenger
house.
hunts. We would come to the church and play, you know, whatever. We always had fun.
So we like it, and we love it. And
We want some more of it.
To help our youth grow spiritually here, we do a variety of things because it's kind of like a puzzle. All these different things go together. We have things where we do fundraisers to raise money so that we can take trips and have fellowship together, and that we can help other people. Every fundraiser we do, we give 10% of it at least away. Two of the main fundraisers we've done this past year is we have the pumpkin patch in the fall, where we have like over 1,000 pumpkins on our church lawn, and we get out here and we roll them and we move them and we sell them and we raise money. And this past spring, we just are now winding down a new fundraiser we did this year. It's called You've Been Smiled Upon by St. Paul Youth, and this is where we go around and we take pinwheels with smiley faces on them and a big smiley face sign that says You've Been Smiled Upon by St. Paul Youth, and we put it in people's yards. Laughing helps you live to be 100. I'm going to be a centurion because we've had a ball laughing with this thing. It's been great.
Can you make us your vessel of love? Send us to places we've never thought of. Lord, can you make us your vessel of love? Now some boats are loaded with silver and gold, things of this earth that we all try to hold. Lord, fill my ship with your wealth from above, and help me to sail as your vessel of love. Vessel of love, oh vessel of love. Lord, can you make us your vessel of love? Send us to people we've never thought of. Lord, can you make us your vessel of love? Vessel of love, oh vessel of love. Lord, can you make us your vessel of love? A vessel of love, oh vessel of love. Lord, can you make us your vessel of love? A vessel of love, oh vessel of love. Lord, can you make us your vessel of love? Vessel of love. Your vessel